Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Trump had talked about how he was going to start reading off all the expenses that this government has been paying out. And they had discovered a lot of massive fraud. And I want you to hear some of the payments. These are in the millions, folks. It's not like hundreds of thousands. This is in the millions. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Where's the money being spent, right? Let's go into that for just a second. $520 million for a consultant on the environment. It's called Environmental, Social, and Governance. Investments in Africa and mobilize private sector resources. $520 million. Somebody got $520 million for an environmental, sounds like an environmental study. I've always been one that paid a lot of money for my environmental studies, but I'd pay like $50,000, not $520 million. $520 million for ESG. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and promote licit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in the country of Colombia. Well, it's nice, $25 million to go into Colombia for something that nobody ever heard of. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. $40 million. $42 million for Johns Hopkins, great place, to research and drive social and behavior change in Uganda. $42 million. What about us? What about social change in our country? $70 million for a center at Purdue to research university-sourced, evidence-based solutions to developmental challenges. I mean, these are massive numbers on things that nobody ever heard about. $10 million for Mozambique voluntary medical male circumcisions. $10 million for circumcisions in another country. $9.7 million for UC Berkeley to develop a cohort of Cambodian youth with enterprise-driven skills. In other words, let's teach them something about enterprise. What about our people? Can we teach them about enterprise? $2.3 million for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. $32 million to the Prague Civil Society Center, which is a very liberal group of people. Wonder how much of that money came back to the people that approved it. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive and participatory political process in Moldova, and $21 million for voter turnout in India. Well, why are we giving $21 million to India? They got a lot of money. They're one of the highest taxing countries in the world in terms of us. We can hardly get in there because their tariffs are so high. I have a lot of respect for India. I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He just left, as you know, 2 days ago. But we're giving $21 million for voter turnout. It's voter turnout in India. What about, like, voter turnout here? Oh, we've done that, I guess. We did $500 million, didn't we? It's called the lockboxes. $20 million for fiscal federalism in Nepal. Listen to these numbers. This is all fraud. $19 million for biodiversity conservation in Nepal. $1.5 million for voter confidence. We want to give them confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. They're doing a lot better than we do in the schools, aren't they? $2 million to develop sustainable recycling models to increase socioeconomic cohesion among marginalized communities in Kosovo and Eskali and in Egypt. We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. I could, by the way, I could read this all day long. I could go on all day long, and you'll see hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're doing it. But when I saw the Social Security numbers, I said, wow, that's really something. So we have, let's just go above 100 years old. We have Millions and millions of people over 100 years old. Everybody knows that's not so. We have a very corrupt country, and it's a sad thing to say, but we're figuring it out. Now, the good thing about Social Security and what I read is if you take all of those numbers off, because they're obviously fraudulent or incompetent, but if you take all of those millions of people off Social Security, all of a sudden we have a very powerful Social Security with people that are 80 and 70 and 90, but not 200 years old. So it's a very positive thing. How about over here? Yeah.
But I wanted to play that in its entirety, what Trump was saying. Now, my question is, okay, y'all finding out all these millions of dollars is being spent all over the place. Y'all find out about the finessing. I want to know when these criminal charges are going to be dropped. I want to know who's the first person getting indicted for it. That's what I want to know. Because once again, I'm going to keep bringing this up. I've seen people get indicted and go into jail for $20,000 PPP loans. These people have been doing things in the millions, okay? Millions of dollars. Millions. And it's been going on for a very, very long time in this country. And this is why people are upset. The people that's been benefiting, let me say that much. We've been finding out a lot of NGOs have been benefiting. A lot of these Catholic organizations have been benefiting from all this money. You talk to the brothers and sisters in the African continent, he mentioned about all the millions of dollars, like what, $40 million going to Uganda. Man, Ugandans they haven't seen that money. So for them to even cut off this money, is messing up a finesse for the politicians in other countries too. I mean, the finesse is the beautiful thing. The finesse is over, at least for now. And hopefully it can stay over, right? And the times that Trump say, well, why they haven't, invested in the people here? Yeah, people here need investment, 100%. But I want to know when the criminal charge is going to drop. Now, I think they feel like it will drop. That's why you have this mass sell-off for homes in D.C. I think they eventually is going to come. They just going through the book to see who did what, who's who, or whatever. But it is amazing what they've been doing with our tax dollars. It is amazing. And once again, when I told y'all that they don't want to pay reparations, not because they can't afford it, because of anti-black racism, this and what everything Trump is saying has been proven my point I've made for years. I made this point several years in a row that they don't pay reparations because of anti-black racism, not because they don't have it. If you got money to give hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars to foreign countries, paying for trans surgeries and all, you could have gave reparations. That's why we cannot let off at this time period about our reparations. We got to tell these people, you want us to do anything? Give us our reparations. Or you want us to vote for you? Give us our reparations. Don't play with us on HR 40. Do the same thing you did with them migrants. Just go ahead and start passing out checks. Or don't give me a check. Just direct deposit or wire me the money. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no paper check from nobody. No, just go ahead on send it in my account. We be all good. You understand what I'm saying? These people could have paid reparations a long time ago. But they rather give it to foreign nationals. They rather do all the kind of things that just don't even make sense with the money. But you wonder why we so much in debt as a nation. We wouldn't been in debt if all this money wasn't being spent. So people need to investigate who has been authorizing all these payments. Who? How come people are just authorized to spend the government's money like that? Without no checks and balances. That is so crazy. But, let me know what y'all think about, everything that Trump is saying. All your tax dollars, my tax dollars, going to all this craziness. But if you ask for some help with anything, oh, no, you can't get that. If you ask for some food stamps, you can't get that. But, man, all the money that Trump was talking about, everybody in the state of Texas can get a food stamp card. I'd rather the money spent here in our own country. Let somebody want some Section 8. Oh, y'all just lazy. But look, all this money. Did all them people that they were giving money to work hard for the money? No, they were just giving it to them. Right? But y'all let me know what y'all think about all this situation. And you think that some people gonna eventually start going to jail? Because I'm ready to see people get indicted. I'm ready. Because this is